Good morning, I'm Carolyn Brooke.
And I'm Ben Thompson. Thanks for waking up with us on this Wednesday. By the way, we should say happy National Dog Day to all the dogs and their humans out there as well.
Yes.
We'll get to the top stories coming up in just a few minutes. But first, Larry Sprinkle standing by with a look at your forecast.
Yes, it's National Dog Day. So what about a dog walking forecast? It's going to be pretty mild for most of the morning. But if you get in there right before lunchtime, we'll be in the mid 80s, upper 80s right around 12 noon. So make sure the dogs have a cool place to go for lunchtime. Check out that 7-day forecast. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid with high temperatures this afternoon in the low 90s. Only a stray thunderstorm chance. More of the same tomorrow and again on Friday. Heat index temperatures feel like about 98 to 100 in some areas. Over the weekend, we could see some showers on Saturday. Best day of the weekend will be on Sunday. We're back to the mid 80s Monday and Tuesday of next week. That is your forecast this morning, Carolyn.
Larry, thanks so much. Turning to your 5 big stories of the day in your morning rush. Students at CMS will have another option for virtual learning. The board agreeing last night to work out deals with local child care centers so that they can help students with online learning. It also gives parents a second option for an extra hand while their kids are home because of the pandemic.
Less than 1 week into the school year, Clover High School reporting a case of COVID-19. The school says someone connected to the football team tested positive. They're suspending practices until at least September 4th. Meanwhile, take a look here. 7 Union County schools now have at least 1 case of COVID-19. As we know, if you have 1 case, you often have others. All of these schools, however, plan to stay open.
The Mecklenburg County Health Director does not think the RNC exposed the public to COVID-19. Gibby Harris says that there were no reports of someone with the virus attending the events in Charlotte. The health department does plan, though, to release a full report on the RNC in the coming days.
Today, CMPD will release body cam footage from what was a violent protest in Uptown. The department was heavily criticized for deploying tear gas to disperse a crowd of protesters. This happening the night of June 2nd, as several hundred people took to the streets to protest the death of George Floyd.
Today is the last day for CMS families for you to sign up for school-provided breakfast and lunch. So the meals will cost $15 a week, but they will be free for students who qualify for free and reduced lunch. CMS has 40 grab-and-go sites where parents can then pick up the meals once a week. You can sign up for that program online. You have to do it, though, by today because today's the last day. That's your Morning Rush.
Thanks, Carolyn. Good morning, everybody. We are recapping night 2 of the Republican National Convention. If you missed it or maybe weren't able to catch all of the speeches, we are going to talk about the hot topics and what people are talking about on social media. Melania Trump, the First Lady, has been trending RNC 2020. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. So first, a lot of people also raising red flags and question marks about Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's speech. He was in the middle of an official trip to Jerusalem when he recorded the speech, and there are concerns over the use of taxpayer money. Also, House Democrats now investigating whether he broke the Hatch Act, which says that presidential appointees who are approved by the Senate, like the Secretary of State, can't even go to a convention. 2 more of the president's children spoke last night, Tiffany and Eric Trump, talking about their father's accomplishments. But it was the First Lady who stole the show, speaking from the Rose Garden to an audience, standing out for her compassion, mentioning victims of the coronavirus. Take a listen.
My deepest sympathy goes out to everyone who has lost a loved one, and my prayers are with those who are ill or suffering.
Now we look ahead to the 3rd day of the RNC. Land of Heroes is the theme tonight. Mecklenburg County GOP holding a watch party starting at 7:30. Vice President Mike Pence will be headlining tonight, as well as we're going to hear from some first responders. So we'll continue to follow the very latest and bring these recaps to the show, guys.
She mentioned Mike Pompeo and how it's sort of unprecedented for someone like him to, appear at a convention. I know Hillary Clinton, as well as Colin Powell, a Republican and a Democrat administrations, didn't attend. And Colin Powell said at the time that he actually loved the fact that he didn't get into the fray of politics at the time, that his distinction as Secretary of State was a little bit different, and he appreciated it. So that's a little bit of at least more modern, recent historical perspective.
Yeah, it keeps him out of it for a little bit.
Yeah, right. All right, time now to connect the dots when we make the news make sense. COVID-19 could travel in the air way farther than we first thought. That could be especially dangerous when we're indoors.
Social distancing has become part of our new normal, but 6 feet away may not be enough. Let's connect the dots. Researchers from MIT now say the coronavirus could travel up to 26 feet in the air. Experts also say one of the biggest risk factors is how much time we're spending indoors. We exhale small aerosol particles into the air every time we talk, cough, and even breathe. When we're inside, the ventilation obviously isn't as good. That allows those particles to hang out in the air or even travel farther. Doctors say staying 6 feet apart from others should be a starting point. Increasing your distance is always better, but we understand that's not always an option. Experts say that's exactly why masks are so important. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Now to some stories to keep you and your family safe and sound today. If your coworkers are getting a little too close to you when you head back to the office, maybe suggesting a new fashion accessory would help. They're color-coded wristbands. So there's a company in Dubai using these as a way to basically avoid awkwardness when it comes to social distancing. So employees can choose between 3 colors. Green bracelet means fist bumps are fine. Yellow indicates that everyone can chat, just don't touch. Red says, keep a distance completely. I appreciate it.
I feel like most people would be wearing red right now.
I certainly would be.
You don't need to be touching your coworkers anyway.
Get away from me.
Right? I think we've learned our lessons when it comes to that lately in the last few years.
Yeah.
All right, if the pandemic has you feeling overwhelmed, go spend some time in your car. A new study found 73% of people use their car as sort of a private space to get away from people they live with. I'm sure they're well-intentioned. Some people choosing to just sit in them, while others using them to take a leisurely drive around town as a way to de-stress. I will say, if I come home, if I'm on the phone, I will just stay there in the car and just enjoy the privacy and, hang out for a minute or two.
Sometimes I'm just too tired and I just sit in there and then I'm like, I've been sitting in my car now for 15 minutes.
And then the people are looking at you like,
what is this girl? And I'm like, you know what? I have a red bracelet on. Mind your business.
Yeah, right? No judgment.
Just don't do it in traffic.
Well, yes, you have to be parked somewhere.
She's hanging out at a red light,
Yeah.
Never.
Oh, that's a terrible feeling.
Right.
When you
Yeah, never.
having those thoughts.
All right, make sure to watch us every morning. You're going to want to, starting at 4:30 a.m. on Wake Up Charlotte. It's a good time.